Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome, replay viewers, as well. Very excited for today's topic. This is, we'll wait for a couple more people to show up. This is one of my absolute favorite yoga meditations, and it's called Sodrashan Chakra Kriya. And although I call it a meditation, when in Kundalini Yoga, when you have the word Kriya at the end of something, that means a yoga set. So this meditation is actually a complete yoga practice. And we think of yoga as asanas, right? The postures. When you go to a yoga class, you go through a series of postures, and we think of that as yoga, and it is in part. But yoga is so much more than that. Yoga is asanas, the postures. Yoga is pranayama, breath work. Yoga is eye position or eye gaze. It's mudra, finger position. It's mantra or chanting. And and it's meditation. It's all of those. And the reason this Sodrashan Chakra Kriya is so powerful is that it uses all of those in a single practice. I'm going to just read something to you about Sodrashan Chakra Kriya from 3HO. That's 3HO stands for Healthy, Happy, Holy Organization. It's the governing body and teaching body and research body for Kundalini Yoga. And when I went to Kundalini Yoga teacher training, this was it. This was like the first one they teach you. And it's kind of like, if there's only one yoga practice you're going to do in your whole life, let it be Sodrashan Chakra Kriya. So they say here about the Kriya, this is one of the greatest meditations you can practice. It has considerable transformational power. The personal identity is rebuilt, giving the individual a new perspective on self, right? So we're not just doing yoga here, yoga for the physical benefit. There's a significant mind-body effect going on here. And then they say, this meditation cuts through all darkness and neurotic barriers. It stimulates pressure from within and gives you a new start. It invokes the Kundalini energy to give you the necessary vitality and intuition to combat the negative effects of the subconscious mind, which releases negative thoughts into the conscious mind. So a very powerful meditation. This is my morning practice. I do this pretty much every morning. I particularly like to do this during this whole pandemic period because in addition to the mind-body effects, it's also an amazing exercise for the lungs. Really powerful. So I'm going to teach this in a few parts because it's a little complicated. I mean, once you start practicing it, it's just second nature and you just do it. But it's a lot going on here. So the first is the pranayama, the breath yoga. We block and you want to blow your nose before you do this because there's a lot of this kind of breath work. Block your right nostril and breathe in through the left. Hold the breath and then block the left nostril, exhale through the right. Block the right nostril, inhale, and we'll be doing some abdominal work while we're holding our breath. And then you block the left nostril and exhale. So that's the pranayama or breath aspect of it. Our eye gaze, our eyes are like 1/10 open, so little slits focused at the tip of the nose. This is a technology that these yogis have figured out over thousands of years. So not sure what this one is, but it definitely has a effect, mind-body effect when you have a particular eye gaze. So 1/10 open, point focused at the tip of the nose, and there's going to be this abdominal work that we're doing. So we're going to pump the navel up and in, kind of at a 45-degree angle to the back. And we're going to pump it in 3 parts, 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. Let me show you this with my actual stomach. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. And that is the abdominal part of it. While we are doing this pumping, 1, 2, 3, 1/3, 2/3, 3/3, we're going to be chanting Wa He Gadu. Wa He Gadu. Wa He, this is the ancient Gurmukhi language in India. Wa He means wow, whoa, amazing, kind of a declaration. Oh wow, holy cow. And Guru, G-U-R-U, Guru is the teacher, Guru is God, Guru is Chi, it's whatever you think of that gives us that sort of universal intelligence of life, right, that we all share. And when you chant it in Gurmukhi, the R is pronounced with a D. So instead of Guru, it's Gudu. Wa He Gudu. So the 3 parts look like this, and you're chanting this in your mind. Wa He Gudu. Wa He Gudu. Wa He Gudu. Wa He Gudu. We're going to be doing this 16 times while we're holding our breath, right? So we block the right nostril, inhale through the left, hold our breath, and then Wa He Gadu, Wa He Gadu, chanting in our mind 16 times. Now, you might not be able to do this 16 times in the beginning. Maybe you could only do it half that. That was what I did when I started. I felt like I was totally out of breath after about 8. And that's great, that's fine. You do the best you can, and wherever your level is at the time, you might find that by the end of just the session, you'll be able to go further. It might take a week or 2 weeks, but you will very quickly notice lung capacity and the ability to hold your breath longer while you're doing these pumps. Now, the left hand, which is just resting here, is in Gyan Mudra, pointer, finger, and thumb. There's a lot of different mudras and hand positions. This one is about knowledge. It's about the receiving of knowledge. And so Gyan Mudra, resting on your left knee like this while you're doing this exercise. At the end of the meditation, with all of this energy that we've just generated inside our body, at the end, we shake. And we just sort of shake it out, and we disperse that energy out into the rest of our body. You could do it seated. Sometimes I'll get up and dance for a minute and just sort of rock it out. And it's a great way it just feels great to end the meditation with this invigorating thing, but it definitely has a purpose too. Now, when you're counting 16 times, that's hard to keep track of with all this other stuff you're doing. I'll tell you how the little trick that I used to do this, to count. I imagine 4 squares, 1, 2, 3, 4, in my mind's eye in front of me. Each square has 4 corners, right? So I just imagine building these 4 squares. Wa He Gadu, 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 Wa He Gadu. And I just imagine completing each one of the 4 corners and go on to the next box, the next. That's how I count 16. And that way I don't have to count. I can focus on everything else that's going on. And in my mind's eye, I am doing these box completions. So we're going to do this for 7 minutes. I usually will do this for 11 minutes every morning. That's just kind of my practice. When you're first getting started, um, you want to, start slow. And they recommend sometimes even just doing it for 3 or 5 minutes. Let's do it for 5 minutes. That's plenty. And so again, just a quick review. Gyan Mudra, resting on your left knee. Eyes 1/10 open, focusing on the nostril. Blocking the right nostril, inhaling the left. Holding, pumping wah, hey, gadu, wah, hey, gadu, 16 times. Block the left nostril and exhale. When you're exhaling, exhale all the way out and then push that last little bit of breath out before you switch and inhale again. So let's give this a try for 5 minutes and begin. Doing great. One more minute. And at the end of your next set, take a deep breath in through the nose. Hold the breath, suspend the breath, and exhale. And then shake it. Shake it out. Great job. Just kind of move it around. You can do this up to a minute or so. Just kind of moving that energy. Huge amount of energy created up the spine. The Kundalini energy, which originates, kind of is dormant at the base of the spine, kind of at the sacrum, and we are energizing that Kundalini energy, that life force, up through the chakras, and now we're spreading it out to all the extremities and the rest of the body. All right, beautiful. So in Kundalini Yoga, we often, we can just do any yoga pose, any Kriya or meditation stand alone. If you want to get the full benefit of some of these practices, they say you can practice it for a 40-day Kriya, or 90, or 120 days, or 300. And each one of these levels of commitment, of practice, integrates into your nervous system at a different level of kind of ownership, you know. So the basic one is 40 days, and I've done this one a few times for 40 days. And a 40-day commitment, what that means is that if you skip a day, you start over again counting. And so it's a motivation to get it done. So as with a lot of these meditations and yoga practices, it's really helpful to do it at the same time every day. I practice for this for 11 minutes. I'll do some like yoga warm-ups and stretches and my own little routine, and then I'll sit and do this Sodrashan Kriya for 11 minutes. And I'll do that first thing in the morning. If I'm in a rush and I got to do other stuff and I just can't get to it, and then I'm laying in bed at night and I go, oh shoot, I didn't do my Kriya today. Because I had that 40-day commitment, I'll get out of bed and sit on the floor and I'll do it. I'm sitting on a meditation cushion. This Kriya can easily be done in a chair, and it's really worth giving it a try and seeing how you feel, especially after a few days of doing it. Seeing if you have any kind of energy shift, or just having a sense of change or whatever might come up for you. I am going to post the 3HO write-up for Sodrashan in the comments in case you prefer to read the instructions instead of follow along with me. My back hurts toward the end. Yeah, you know, I think when you're sitting up straight and you're pumping, you're definitely stressing your lumbar spine. So I would say, Kim, to adjust your position, to sit up straighter, to maybe if you're on a cushion, sit on the edge of a cushion so you have a little more lumbar curve. You don't want to do this bent over, and you don't want to do it leaning against the back of a chair, because you want to be on the edge of the chair where your lungs can fully expand and not be restricted at all. And you know, whenever we do anything new, there's going to be some compensation, adjusting, getting used to. So I imagine that's something that if you, like if you're in a chair, on the edge of the chair, upright, give it a try. It might very well just relax after you've been doing it a couple times. Thanks for watching. Let me know how this goes. Let me know if you practice this, comment, and give me some feedback. Have a great day.